Hello to Phoenix and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Catherine Minor. Please call me Kate Mimi. And we shall be discussing functions of the kidneys today. Why? Because we will be tackling various aspects of chronic kidney disease and acute kidney injury, basically, and so many other forms of non-communicable diseases. Why? Because I am a renal nurse, kidney nurse, yay, somewhere in the United Kingdom, and I really want us to have some basic knowledge in these otherwise ignored organs of our body called kidneys. And then I asked myself, what can we do to prevent kidney disease? There's a lot that we can do as a people, but then again, how can we prevent what we do not understand? How can we understand chronic kidney disease when we do not even know the functions of the kidneys? And that is why I'm here, yours truly, your Facebook nurse, Kate Mimi, hey Team Phoenix. Then I will be taking you through functions of the kidneys. Grab some water and take a seat. Let's talk about our kidneys. Team Phoenix, did you know that 70% of our body is actually water? This water needs special balance, and this balance is conducted by our kidneys. And probably it is wise for me to say that the location of your kidneys is not in your tummy. Okay, they are not right here inside your tummy. The kidneys are more towards the back. Probably I need to stand and demonstrate this. Oh yes. So your kidneys are not located here. Your kidneys are more towards your back. Okay. Your kidneys are somewhere right here. They call the flanks. This area is called the flank. Okay. So show me your kidneys. Show me your kidneys. The kidneys are right here. Okay. They are behind a covering of the abdomen. There is a covering that covers all the other organs in our abdomen. It's called the peritoneum or the peritoneum, depending on who taught you English. My teacher called it peritoneum, so I'll say peritoneum. I'll not say peritoneum. So peritoneum. Behind the peritoneum is where you find your kidneys. So here are your kidneys, people. Not here. Okay. Not here. The kidneys are not here, okay? They are here. Santeni, thank you. Whoa, that was nice. So, water balance is what our kidneys do. Now, where does this water come from? See, after the body cells have done each and everything that you're supposed to do, think about a meal that you ate. Think about a bacteria or probably a germ that infected you, and the kidney, and the body really fought hard. You know, white blood cells fought against this infection. Or probably you ate a meal, that glucose was absorbed, it went to your muscles, you've been working hard, you've been walking and working, and these processes all generate some sort of water. So this water needs to be balanced. And this water is balanced by our kidneys, even the water that we drink. Each and every time we need to have our 70% of water. We have the kidneys to thank for that function. The other one is that our body cells operate within a certain environment. This environment does not need to be harsh or mild. By harsh, I mean acid. By mild, I mean base. So our kidneys are very useful in regulating this very tricky balance between the acids and the bases. Okay, so when blood goes to the kidneys, it is filtered, that is cleaned. And this cleaning, during this cleaning process, when blood is being cleaned in the kidneys, this is where all these processes are happening. They happen all at the same time. So you can imagine when you're seated, whenever you're walking, working, or whatever you're doing, our kidneys do not sleep. Even when you're asleep, our kidneys are always working. So acid-base balance is one of the functions. Water balance is the other function. The other function, Team Phoenix. I love me some water. The other function is actually regulation of salts. I will call them salts. The proper word is actually electrolytes, but for the function of this YouTube channel, we say that you're going to use a simple language that a layperson can understand. So, salts regulation. These salts are in the form of things like sodium, that is our basic table salt, if you may please. We have potassium, we have calcium, we have phosphorus, and so many other. Now, we need salts for our body to be able to function as it should. For example, contraction of muscles, okay? Contraction of the muscles, contraction of the heart, our nerve cell function, they all need some sort of salt. And these salts are potassium, these salts are calcium, these salts are sodium. Now, the problem with these salts is that when they are in excess, for example, potassium, when it is in excess, it will give us a heart attack or a cardiac arrest, depending on how you want to see it. It will give us that. When it is low, it is also going to give us problems with the heart. They are going to affect the nerve cells, and someone will present with tremors, for example, like trembling. trembling of the hands, trembling of the feet, trembling of, even when they are talking. Why? Because we have a problem with the regulation of these salts. So whenever a person presents with such, that is where your doctor or whoever is attending to you will order a wide array of tests to find out how are your kidney function tests, and one of the things we shall be looking at, it is these salts, which we call electrolytes. Does it make sense? I really hope it does. The other function of our beautiful bean-shaped organs called the kidneys is actually toxins removal. Think about alcohol, think about medications that you take. All these products, after they have been processed in the liver, they need to be removed from the body, because what good are we doing after we have used our paracetamol, for example, to cure our headache or to stop our headache, after we have used our antibiotics to hit the bacterial infection that we were having? Why do we need those end products? What are they doing in the body? So this is where the kidneys come in. They remove these toxins, okay? They remove them through the urine. The other thing about, if you think about toxins, the other thing is something called urea. See, for each and every meal that we take that has proteins, the end product is urea. Now, urea needs to be within a certain balance in the body. It is useful, please don't get me wrong, but when it is not removed adequately, it will give us problems. And this is actually the crux of kidney disease. This is the crux of kidney failure, because we check at the level, oh my gosh, my pronunciation. Catherine, you're awesome. So we look at the level of the urea in the body. So urea is actually a toxin that is produced after we have metabolized or we have processed proteins. So we need to make sure that urea is removed. It is part of the toxins that the body is clearing, okay? Clearing and forwarding. Clearing through filtration, that is cleaning of the blood, and forwarding through urine. So you need to keep on peeing for you to be able to remove all these toxins. So does it make sense? So far we have covered water balance, acid and base regulation. We have also looked at salts regulation, and now we have looked at toxins removal. The other one, my dear friends, Team Phoenix, is actually blood pressure control. Think about the force with which the heart pumps blood through the blood vessels to each and every organ in the body for it to deliver nutrients, oxygen, and also remove the toxins of metabolism. Because every time we are resting, our body is working. Our body is trying to do things that we cannot physically see. So after it has, produced all those toxins, we need blood, to go there and come with it, maybe remove carbon dioxide, bring it to the lungs, and those are things that we are talking about. So blood pressure control, we need a certain force. That is what you're calling blood pressure. We need a certain force to be constant so that these processes can take place. And we are thanking the kidneys for this function. I will refer you to my blog post on Wednesday last week. That is www.katemimi.com. Please look at the relationship between the heart and the kidneys. I really went into details about how the heart behaves when the kidneys are affected, and how the heart and how the kidneys affect the heart. Basically, they are Siamese twins. That's what I call them. I call them Siamese twins because they affect one another. If you're a medic, you will call this the cardiorenal syndrome. But then again, we are not medics in this class, are we? No, we are not. So blood pressure control is a function of the kidneys because they release a certain hormone which is very useful in maintaining that sort of pressure that we need throughout our blood vessels. The other function of the kidney is actually action of a hormone called erythropoietin. This hormone is very useful for the production of red blood cells. Breathe. Let me say that again. Red blood cells are made in the bone marrow, just like each and every other blood cells. Platelets, which help our blood to clot, white blood cells, which act like soldiers in our body, and any other cells that you can think about, the blood cells. They are made in the bone marrow. But for it to happen, we need to have like a catalyst. This is what you are calling this hormone that the kidneys produce. And this is specifically for red blood cells. If it does not have this catalyst called erythropoietin, we are not going to form red blood cells. And if you're not going to form red blood cells, you will present with anemia. That is a low level of blood in the body. Is it making sense? I really hope it is. So our kidneys are very useful in the production of this hormone that will help us in forming the red blood cells. That is why perhaps somebody will ask, you know, when I was presenting with kidney failure, the only thing I was feeling is being tired all the time. I was tired, I could barely take a flight of stairs. And you will be like, I really don't understand. Is it that the kidneys bring us energy, or what is happening? This is the explanation, that you had anemia, and one sign of anemia is actually fatigue, you know, because your body cells do not have the nutrients and the oxygen they require, because you have a low level of red blood cells. Does it make sense? I really hope it does. The other function of the kidneys is actually activation and metabolism of vitamin D. Vitamin D is a vitamin found in fat, butter, or butter if you're in Scotland, you know, Scotland, butter, yeah, butter. So if you find things that have fat in them, most likely they have vitamin D. Why we need vitamin D is for strong, healthy bones, and also for a very functional immune system. So you need vitamin D. And this vitamin D, for example, when we say go out to the sun and absorb rays of the sun for you to get vitamin D, what we are saying is you go out to the sun, you be struck by the rays of the sun, your skin absorbs it, but it will be metabolized in the kidneys. Okay, it will be metabolized in the kidneys. Now, when people do not have enough vitamin D, they'll be prone to illnesses, you know, like the common cold. They will be prone to, okay, the common cold is bound to affect everybody, but it will affect them more severely. If you have looked at the conversation with and regarding and surrounding COVID-19, there was a lot of debate about vitamin D, not because it is a curative vitamin when it comes to management of COVID-19, but it is because deficiency of vitamin D means that you do not have a strong enough immune system that is going to fight against the virus, that is the coronavirus 19. That is what it means. So we need this, and we need our kidneys to be able to metabolize or activate, or simply to process, to make this vitamin D that we have been absorbing on our skin, or we have been eating on our diet, to become active. So it is as simple as that. Because and then when you think about the bones, formation of bones, for example, you will need this vitamin D for it to be able to, for the bones to be able to be formed as they should be formed, and for the body to be able to absorb things like calcium, things like phosphorus. You will need our vitamin D. So that is where the kidney come in. And I really hope that this has been quite helpful to you. Now, to recap, people, Team Phoenix, the functions of the kidney, we are talking about acid and base balance, because we do not want a harsh environment, and we do not need a mild environment for our body cells to be able to function. We've talked about water balance, and that is why it is very important for us to keep on peeing, and we need to look at our pee. When it is too watery, it means we are flooded, if I may say, or we have too much water in our body. And when it is too concentrated, it is going to look like straw. It will be like straw, you know, that color of straw, deep straw. It means that you're dehydrated. You mean you need to take in some water, more water. We have looked at salt balance, regulation of salts. We have called them electrolytes, but for the sake of this YouTube video, we have called them salts. And we have also been very keen to say that these salts are important for the normal function of nerve cells, the heart, the muscles, and things like that. We've also talked about toxins removal. We have said that urea is one of the natural toxins that we need to remove. We've also said that we need to remove drugs that we take, alcohol that we consume. And we have also talked about blood pressure control, production of erythropoietin, which is a hormone that is important for the formation of red blood cells. And we've also talked about metabolism or activation of vitamin D. So I really do hope that when we shall start delving into kidney failure, you will be able to relate to this, and I'll make sure that I keep on updating at each and every point that I'm talking about the kidneys. I'll be making sure that I put a link up here so that you're able to follow or maybe refer to this video for the sake of the this is forming a foundation for more videos that we will be talking about kidney disease. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time.